Yo, what's going on, y'all? J Trades here, back in a brand new video, and in today's video I will be doing a daily trade recap of all the trades I took today, roughly 3 to 4 trades today, along with my Discord group. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to click the link down below. Without further ado, let's jump straight into them. So it was basically 3 gold trades and 1 NAS trade, and all were winners. Really good risk reward trades, and I'm gonna show you guys live right now exactly what each trade was and what my thought process behind each one was. So right here, as you guys can see, usually when the day starts, I like to look at general market and see how it's moving. So far, as you guys can see, within the past few days or even a week or two, we've just been ranging on gold up and down, up and down, up and down. And gold is my bread and butter, so I know how gold reacts to these certain zones and where price is and where it will most likely go to. So point is, we are currently in a ranging market, so that's one thing to recognize. And then let's get straight into the market open real quick. When New York session. Now I usually like to look at the charts around 9 o'clock, 9:30ish. So let's check that out. That's when usually the stock market opens. So there's really high volatility and volume that kicks the market. It allows these zones to work very well. So let's see how price plays out over here. Essentially right now, since it did tap into this demand zone, I am looking for longs right here. So once I do hit longs, I'm looking for price essentially to come all the way up here. As you guys can see, we have a lot of liquidity here to grab right here. I want market to go up here, grab this liquidity, and then drop, boom, straight down and creating a new low, right? So that's essentially what all of my game plan was for today, but I found a good opportunity to actually go long for a little bit at market open. So that was something very interesting. I like to take opportunities when I see them. So right now we are on the 5-minute time frame, and let's see how this plays out. So right here, nothing really interests me so far. Again, I know in this, it tapped the demand zone, really nice wicks right here, good price action. Somewhat clean price action over here, but up here, I'm not a fan of this price action over here, right? It's a little choppy, not the best, but let's see how price reacts over here. So right when price essentially broke structure over here, I entered a little bit later because I wanted a bit more confirmation before getting into this trade. As you know, there's some stuff I just want to make sure, because there's some times where, depending on how price moves, I will enter earlier, but there's sometimes where I like to wait a little bit more for extra confirmation. So essentially what happened here was I waited for confirmation and I entered off this candle right here at 942 or 941, and then stop loss, I'm gonna put it right below here. This is where I'm expecting price to potentially reject, put it a little bit more below where it potentially will reject. Now, you could put your stop loss down here. This is probably a safer stop loss, but I like to have tight stop losses and size up more. This way I can maximize my risk reward ratio in trades. And again, because of how I know how gold moves, and since we have already broken out of essentially this demand zone right here, price should have a swift move to the upside, right? So essentially what happened, I got in right there, as you can see, and price basically hit my TP all the way up here, right? And let's see what happens to price now, right? As you guys can see, essentially what I'm seeing here is we basically took out the liquidity right here, which is what I was expecting. Right here, we had liquidity up here. Oh my gosh. Okay, we had liquidity up here. And then we also had a lot of liquidity just overall in this whole area, as you guys can see. This is a very nice mini zone right here that you could even draw out, honestly. Super nice zone, tons of liquidity, tons of unfilled orders ready to be filled, right? So basically what this push showed me was we basically swept liquidity, which is really good sign. And I'm basically waiting for a good entry and extra confirmation that's going to go to the downside, right? Because at the moment, this looks very bullish. But eventually it's going to reject at some point because I know this is a bull trap. So let's get straight into the 1 minute. Let's see how this plays out. So right here, as you guys can see, it's basically trying to collect all the liquidity down here, up here. You guys can see tons of rejections up here because of liquidity limit orders being filled. One massive order got filled right here, and then someone decided to push it up real quick. Again, they're basically trapping bulls over here, and you know that's not going to get me because I know there's tons of liquidity up here that they're trying to take and push the market down. So was waiting for that, and essentially this is basically where I entered right here. Again, this was a later entry than before, just because this is more of an uncertain move, just due to the fact that it broke out of this zone. Again, I don't have anything really drawn all the way until up here. So I wanted a little bit more extra confirmation to play safe today. So again, nonetheless, this was an excellent trade. Stop loss right above these 2 candles right here. This is essentially where resistance is going to be if it does bounce. And I know some people do like to put their stop losses all the way up here. Personally, not a fan of that because I know once we create market structure, As you can see, lower high, lower lows. We don't want to break this structure. If we break above this previous high right here, we are essentially most likely going to do this and go back to the upside and keep pushing higher. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to take that much of a risk either, and I know that I'm going to be wrong faster. Basically, taking your wrong trades faster is a good way to minimize your losses and maximize your gains. So again, entered off this candle right here, and essentially this played out super well. I believe this is a pretty fast drop here as well. A little bit of drawdown, barely minimal drawdown, and boom, as you can see, fully take profit over here. I took most profits here at this level because this is the key level right here of rejection previously. But as you guys can see later on throughout the day, prices kept on going down. I did not hold any runners, unfortunately. I wish I held runners because look at this drop right here. It was such a good drop, such a massive drop. Really insane day right here. And wow, you guys can see I missed out on a lot. But again, we are traders. We trade off probabilities, and the probability of it dropping this much, breaking through multiple zones, is very unlikely. But it did happen. Again, we do try to react, not predict, right? So that's basically what happened here. And I did take a 1 minute last trade over here around 2 o'clock. I usually don't like taking trades after 12 p.m. on gold because of volatility reasons. But because of how price was moving so clean today, as you guys can see, it's very clear trend to identify today. So I wanted to take another trade around 2 o'clock. So as you guys can see, I was waiting for this structure to break right here, and then basically entered off to break a structure within this supply zone right here. I did notice there was also a key level near here that would take some profits at, and we do have somewhat of a mini zone here that is eventually going to be broken through. But again, this trade, I had a bigger, wider stop loss just in case on this trade. Again, lower volatility, don't know what's going to happen. Price could take a bit long to push down, so higher, more bigger stop loss, completely fine with this trade. I did size down a little bit more on this trade, but nonetheless, it was a great, excellent trade. Again, took half profits at this key level, broke through, and this trade I believe is still currently running right now. I'm waiting for it to hit my final TP. Again, as you can tell by the time, it's still running live. So not sure what's going to go on here, but basically I have my stop loss at break even. Again, I announced all these trades in my Discord that's paid. ETU, you guys can bring premium. You guys are interested in all these call outs, but as you guys can see, it's about to hit my final TP, which is down here, which is where liquidity resides. So super nice so far trade. 1 to 3 essentially if it hits the final take profit. My first take profit was roughly a 1 to 1. Again, I could have waited a little bit more, but as you can see, I had a pretty good rejection over here. So on key levels, I do definitely tell all of you guys to take profits at are very accurate because I know it's gonna reject and bounce there. So there's that, and let's go on to the NASDAQ trade I took today. Today was honestly an insane day for the market. Market was just all red today, essentially, especially the tech stocks. They were dropping like crazy. So anyway, market opened 9:30 here, NASDAQ. I didn't take any trades on NASDAQ. I was really focused on gold in the morning. I didn't want to take too many assets, too many trades, so I was waiting long. But point is, on NASDAQ, I basically played a continuation. I like to play continuation and reversals. Though reversals are my bread and butter, those are the ones I'm really good at with a high risk reward ratio. Missed out on some profits today at NASDAQ, but it's all good. Again, we trade off probabilities over here. So point is, really good risk reward ratio anyway, so it didn't really matter that much to me. No complaints to me. But basically, when I saw this, when I went to NASDAQ, I noticed the whole market in general was going in a downtrend, right? And NASDAQ is mainly the top 100 stocks, and they're mostly tech stocks. So the fact that I just basically took fundamentals and technicals together, right? Technicals, we are dropping like crazy, right? We broke through multiple zones. Basically, once it broke through this zone right here, I knew it was a confirmed continuation day. No way I'm playing reversals on this type of trend, this type of price action. I'm definitely gonna play continuations on this, as I do expect price to keep on going down and potentially either reject up here, or it might even go down here. As you can see, we have a pretty strong demand zone over here. It might honestly come back down here and then come back up, or it might even continue dropping just because of how high we are and how overextended we are so far in this bull run. But nonetheless, I just played a continuation here, nothing crazy. Again, look for a good opportunity. I saw this key level right here being as support. I don't really like playing breakouts, but because this was such a good trend day, I had to play this. So it was really good risk reward ratio nonetheless. Again, once it broke out, I entered off the 1 minute. Entered off the 1 minute, stop loss right above here. Almost hit my stop loss, super close. I should have moved my stop loss like up here or a little bit higher, like right here at this candle, but very close to hit my stop loss. Luckily again it stopped out, took partials along the way just because of this rejection right here. Didn't really like when it was coming back down here again to test the rejection again. So I took partials here along the way and basically finished the trade down here. Now you guys didn't see, the trade continued to keep going further and further down, but again, that's out of my range. That's whatever price does at that point, I don't really care. It's just something I could journal, but again, market is not black and white, so it never moves perfectly the way you expect it to be. Point is though, it is a dub. Great risk reward, 1 to 5. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Those are all the trades I took with the premium Discord. If you guys held runners on all those trades I called out, you would have been in insane profits today. Like, so today was a really good day if I held, but again, it's all depends on psychology, things like that. It's all good. Nonetheless, didn't really bother me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.